Chapter 5. Third son, second son, eldest son. Hulan's work often brought him into the orbit of Maomao and her companions. "I'm terribly sorry, but perhaps I could ask you to arrange a carriage for me," he asked a servant in a hallway of the main house. The servants seemed used to Hulan's humble demeanor. Apparently it wasn't just an act he put on for Jinshi. "You think he's really Master Gyokuoyu's son?" Lehaku asked, squinting as he watched Hulan walk down the hall. The hulking soldier had a hoe in hand and was working a field. It was no longer just the annex. They had received permission to turn the garden of the main house into farming fields as well, and Lehan's brother had wasted no time beginning cultivation. Lehaku helped, on the grounds that just standing around as a guard would cause him to go soft, and this work doubled as exercise. Then there was the main house's gardener, watching the field come together with tears in his eyes. The greenhouse gardener was giving him a sympathetic pat on the shoulder. Maomao was no longer the gardener's only enemy. "Plenty of kids are nothing like their parents," said Maomao. She was drying cucumber slices in the sun. The greenhouse gardener was glaring especially hard at her, but she contrived not to notice. With Gyokuoyu gone, the political face of the Western capital had changed substantially. With Jinshi now taking a more public role, the move toward military expansion was much slower, and the main focus of attention had become how to stabilize the food supply. The hated grasshoppers had assailed the Western capital repeatedly in the past several months. Humans, however, can get used to almost anything, and as the episodes went on, they learned to live with the insects. "They're growing numb," Maomao thought. Still, whenever she saw a grasshopper, she tried to kill it, and it sounded like the people were trying to plow the areas where grasshoppers seemed likely to lay eggs. There was even a suggestion that the plains should be torched while the larvae were still young and couldn't fly, but unlike in the royal capital, there was scant rain here and no way to know how far the fire might spread. It was deemed too dangerous. Instead, a simple battle of attrition proceeded. Cultivation of fields went on, complete with fall plowing. The past months had seen a number of merchants go out of business, and priority was given to hiring them. "I wonder how much we can actually harvest before winter." That would be the real question, Maomao suspected. She touched each of the cucumber slices, picking up the ones that were dry. That was when she saw someone rushing through the hall of the mansion. "Lady Maomao." It was Hulan. Maomao always felt weird being addressed with such high respect. "And Master Lehaku. You must pardon me." "Oh, you're Master Hulan, aren't you? You don't have to use a title of respect with me, I'm just a bodyguard." In fact, it makes things a little awkward. "Ah, Lehaku," always saying exactly what Maomao wished she could. "Not at all. I'm still not much more than a glorified gopher, and I know all too little about politics. I know all too little about anything, really." Meanwhile I hear that Lady Maomao, a woman, has already served as a medical assistant for some years now. "And you, Master Lehaku, I gather you're here by the personal request of the Moon Prince. You are certainly both worthy of respect, and it would never do to be rude to you. Above all, I myself am nothing more than a lackey, not even an official in my own right. I can do no other than show you courtesy. Please understand." Hulan was practically snorting with certainty, and his eyes were truly shining. If this was an act, he was doing a very good job. "It's going to be way too much work to get him to stop," Maomao thought, so she decided to live with it. "All right, Master Hulan. Did you need something from us?" she asked. "Yes, I've brought a paper from the Moon Prince. I intend to give the same one to Dr. Yu and Dr. Li. He seeks the opinion of those doing medical treatment here. Would you be so kind as to look at this?" He passed Maomao a sheet of parchment, which she opened and inspected. The text was written in pen, the Western equivalent of a brush, but it wasn't Jinshi's handwriting. It had clearly been written by someone used to handling a pen, presumably someone from the West. Maybe Hulan had written it out himself. It was a list of symptoms: swelling, bleeding, anemia, diarrhea, vomiting. These are symptoms observed in the areas where there are no doctors or apothecaries. The Moon Prince realizes you might not be able to treat these things from afar, but if there are ways to prevent them or cope with them, he requests that you write them down in as much detail as possible. It was hardly unusual for there to be no doctors or apothecaries out in the country. When people in those areas got sick, they treated their problems with folk remedies, and in especially serious cases, the sufferer might go to a folk healer to have prayers said, but that was the extent of what people could do. There was no proper medical treatment available. You should make your instructions as specific as you can. Moreover, resources are limited, so the Moon Prince would be grateful if you would suggest possible substitutes. Whatever one seeks in Isei province these days, one can assume it will be in short supply. That was true enough, Maomao agreed. But they were asking for more than she could simply jot down right here and give back to him. I'll see that the master physician gets this. Could we have a little while to work on it? I think he should be done by this evening. She stuck to the pretense that the quack doctor would fill out the paper. We just need to give it to the Moon Prince, yes? The brains, huh? I have to admit, I'm curious. An unknown ingredient. She had to try it. You'd eat its brains, the quack exclaimed, looking at her incredulously. We might as well. This head's ours now. I'm not sure I want any brains. The quack doctor drew back. Just a small taste for me, Lahaku said, not looking very eager either. Maomao regarded the glassy-eyed head and wished that Shikyu had at least given them the antlers as well. Velvet antler could be turned into an excellent energy tonic.